It's Madden NFL 22. It's the Raiders and the Chargers on
E7 is underway on EA Sports. From a yard or two to 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert, on first. Is going to fall incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Eckler, he takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now.
Third down throw, but it this is the target, incomplete. On fourth down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 52 yards and a touchdown.
I'm so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game, because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game, although they're preparing for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And the stop here will come at
feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And Carr's going to keep it himself. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
Okay, I'll admit it. I'm a little surprised by that call. 2nd and inches. It did what it was intended, but it felt like it was a free play waiting to happen. I thought they might take a shot.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a toss to the left for Jacobs. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Here's Carr to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. Josh Palmer, the intended target. And it's 3rd and short. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
But you're good at it.
I try. I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
1st down, and they stick with Eckler. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the 1st quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
2nd down and goal. Herbert. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, LA. Josh Palmer, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers have taken a 1st quarter lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now to return it, here's Kenyon Drake. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Play action. Now it's Carr. He'll buy some time right. Lets this go for Renfro downfield. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Charger football to start quarter number 2. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down. Now a give running left is Eckler. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time, separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach. Let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers. And they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. Hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Herbert now. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for L.A. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field.
More from L.A. in a moment. 2nd and 10.
Now Carr. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Jacobs. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Well, that play really didn't fool them. They completed the screen pass, but for lost yardage, a really nice play by the defense.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. The open man here, Renfro. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 20-yard line. Looking to throw. Herbert. And the Raiders have got him. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
He seemed to have a reasonable
to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and forever. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player.
More from L.A. in a moment.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Fielded just inside the 20.
We got this.
Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
Now on 2nd and 13. Carr. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Edwards. Intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now that was one I kind of saw it coming, Charge. He had a free safety just hanging back there over the middle, waiting, and he saw that ball go in the air, and he jumped on it.
And I don't know why the quarterback didn't see that. That was just your standard cover 3, which means the free safety in the middle of the field, the 2 corners, and then divide the field in thirds. But when you have a free safety with range, like a good center fielder, he can go from side to side and make plays on the football as he did there.
On 2nd and 12, Herbert.
They'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Here's Herbert. He'll get this to Eckler. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Back to throw here, Herbert. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
Remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow...
got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this 1st half as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go here before intermission. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Lets this go for Renfro downfield.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
The Carr's throw pulled in by Renfro.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Carr now on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. After the turnover, here's Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And the Chargers going to signal for the 1st of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the 1st half. From the 31, Herbert. Going for Burton, and he's got it. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Out of the gun, Herbert. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. On the return comes Drake. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they really won't have much time to work with. Just 19 seconds showing on the clock. Well, they're just going to run it here up the middle. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. So that one will be accepted. Throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
He's to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
The Charger drive about to get going. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he'll work this forward for about 3 and 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It's only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 35-yard line. From the shotgun, here's Herbert.
And that one complete to his receiver, Palmer.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. On on second down, Eckler. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
From the gun, Herbert on third down. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, second down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Once more, here's Eckler. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. Herbert. And that will be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
So 3 more points tacked on.
You can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 2nd and 12, Carr. Caught out right by Renfro. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. And now they're in the hurry-up. Carr going to try and throw on third down. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfro. And he is going to have the Raiders first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing. And that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3. Just get the ball right to the receiver.
Is the hitch route. Tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step, like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 45-yard line.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Now Carr on the bootleg, rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And now here's another interception. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. There's a nice pickup right there. And after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw complete here to Waller.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 45 on 2nd down. Carr, he finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good. And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. Carr to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's got his big tight end here.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
On 1st down, it's Jacobs. And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
I think this offense, specifically this running thus far, and it's cost them.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Shotgun now for Carr. And he whips that one incomplete there.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now Carr, gotta have this one. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
The Charger drive about to get going. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. More from L.A. in a moment. On 2nd and 2, Herbert. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Solomon Thomas. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that 1st down gain of 8. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And Jacobs, I don't think is going to get there. No. It appears they're going to mark him short of the 1st. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down on the yard. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the 1st down, close it out.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field, and he wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Carr keeps it on the sneak. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Well, I liked it. Just take the snap, burrow forward, pick up the few inches you need for a 1st down.
And defensively, I don't think they were expecting that. They looked a little surprised in the middle.
Yeah, a little bit wary there, weren't they? Because that can be a throwaway down where maybe you go play action, fake it, and try and get something big. But instead he said, forget it. Let's just get a 1st down and start a new set.
Now, 1st down run with Jacobs going to be well read defensively as they'll stop him for a loss of a couple. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their 1st. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Second and 12. Now Carr. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play.
Partner, I like the play call coming right after a tackle for a loss because this is an obvious passing situation, but instead they fooled him a little bit with the screen, and they wound up getting back what they lost and then a little bit more.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he will have the 1st before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Carr now on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. No gain on the screen there. It's second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The Carr's throw taken in by Edwards.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. To throw his Carr. And he fires one, but incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Carr to throw for it on 4th down.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Charger defense stands tall and they get the football back. They started on the ground with Eckler. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15. Here's 2nd and 9. Just a yard on that last run.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
On the option right, Herbert.
He's got a 1st down past the 30. And he'll wind up taking this all the way down to the Raiders' 36-yard line. A big play there on the option.
So that run there, yeah, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see.
And what I really enjoyed about that run and what made it so impressive to me